guys are doing well. If you watched my last video, I did a whispering reading called Foxy in Love, and like I said, that was done in whispered form. So this is going to be a soft-spoken reading for people that like soft speaking. Fancy. So I'm going to be reading this book right here, and it is called The Story of Valentine's Day. So this one's going to be a little bit longer and a little bit different style. So I hope that you enjoy, I hope that you learn a lot, and I hope that you have a good Valentine's Day. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is the story of Valentine's Day, and this is by Clyde Robert Bula, illustrated by Susan Estelle Guas. The Story of Valentine's Day. Red and pink hearts, flowers and chocolates, cupids and doves, cards and letters with sweet or silly sayings written on them. All of these things mean Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is celebrated each year on February 14th. It is a day to give small gifts of love and friendship to someone special. These gifts are called Valentines. But how did Valentine's 14th, or February 14th, come to be a day to think about love? No one knows for sure. Valentine's Day is one of our oldest and most mysterious holidays. Is everybody making Valentines for their friends or loved ones? More than 2,000 years ago, a holiday similar to Valentine's Day was celebrated in Rome. But in those times, the Romans did not call it Valentine's Day. They called the holiday Lupercalia. Lupercalia means Feast of Lupercus. The early Romans believed that a god named Lupercus protected them from wolves and looked after their crops and animals. They honored Lupercus by singing and dancing and feasting. Lupercalia came later in the Roman calendar than our Valentine's Day does, so Lupercalia was also a festival to celebrate the spring and the beginning of it. That must be Lupercus. On the night before Lupercalia, girls would write their names on pieces of paper and place them in an urn. Boys would take turns drawing names. The girl whose name they chose would be their partner for all games and dances. Often the pair would become engaged at the end of the festivities. This romantic custom reminds us a bit of Valentine's Day today. It's pretty intense. For hundreds of years, the Romans celebrated Lupercalia. But after the Christian religion came to Rome, many Romans no longer believed in such gods as Lupercus. Still, people loved celebrating Lupercalia and did not want to give it up. So the church decided to use the holiday to honor a priest, and they renamed the holiday Saint Valentine's Day and celebrated it on February 14th. Legend has it that this holiday was named after a Christian priest who lived in Rome almost 2,000 years ago. records show that there were actually several priests named Valentine living back then. According to one story, Valentine was arrested because he refused to pray to the Roman gods. In prison, Valentine became friends with the prison guard and his blind daughter. Finally, after many years, the priest was called before the Roman Emperor Claudius II, or Claudius the Cruel. Claudius told the priest he would be set free if he gave up his religion. Valentine refused, and even tried to convince Claudius to become a Christian. Claudius flew into a rage and ordered the priest beheaded, but before he was taken away, Valentine asked the prison guard to give a note to his blind daughter. As soon as the girl opened the note, her sight was miraculously restored, and she was able to read what was written on the piece of paper. From your Valentine. And this is the blind girl reading the Valentine. Look, there's little flowers with hearts on them. Here's the vine with hearts as well. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 hearts. Another story tells how a priest named Valentine disobeyed the Roman law in the name of love. Claudius the Cruel had forbidden young couples to marry because he needed a fierce army and believed that single men made better soldiers. Valentine broke the law and married young couples in secret. When Claudius found out, he was so angry he had Valentine killed. And so St. Valentine's Day was a celebration of courage and friendship in honor of a brave priest, but it was also a day to think about love and romance. Let's see. That's St. Valentine marrying people in secret. Celebrations of Valentine's Day spread to other countries. During the Middle Ages, people in England believed that birds returned from the south to choose their mates around February 14th. So Valentine's Day seemed like a perfect time to choose a sweetheart. Many of the English celebrations were like those of the Romans. People feasted, played games, and danced. But the English began to add a few of their own customs. In one, a girl would write a boy's name on pieces of paper, roll each paper into a ball of clay, and drop them into a bucket of water. When the clay balls fell apart, the first paper to surface would reveal the name of the man the girl would marry. It was also during the Middle Ages that the Valentine's Day became a children's holiday. English children went from door to door in groups, singing songs. The mistress of the house would often throw flowers or pennies to the children, or give them sweet buns made with plum filling. Here is one of the songs the children sang. Good morning to you, Valentine. Curl your locks as I do mine. 2 before and 3 behind. Good morning to you, Valentine. There's a little dog, too. He deserves a Valentine, too. In Italy, young men and women gathered together in flower gardens on Valentine's Day to listen to music and poetry. In France, fancy dress balls were popular. Young Frenchmen were often expected to present their Valentine's Day dance partners with bouquets of flowers. When young people or young couples in Austria, Hungary, and Germany first celebrated Valentine's Day, They also danced and went to parties. But later, the holiday became a more serious one. It became the custom for boys in these countries to draw the names of saints instead of the name of girls, of course. On February 14th, for a whole year, the boys were expected to live like the saint whose name they had chosen. Well, that doesn't sound as fun. The very first Valentine was written at this time, about 400 years ago, by a French nobleman named the Duke of Orleans. He was taken captive during a war and imprisoned in a tower in England. He missed his wife very much, and he wrote her many love letters. Many of the letters mentioned St. Valentine. One of them reads, "Wilt thou be mine? Dear love, reply. Sweetly consent, or else deny. Whisper softly, none shall know. Wilt thou be mine, love? A or no?" As more and more people learned how to read and write, they decided to send this kind of letter to their sweethearts. Soon the letters came to be called Valentines. They were often decorated with hearts, flowers, birds, and cupids. In Greek and Roman myth, Cupid was a mischievous god who flew around shooting people with his invisible arrows. These arrows made people fall hopelessly in love. Here are the Valentines that Duke of Orleans sent out. By the early 1800s, many people were decorating their Valentines with satin ribbons and lace. For people who needed help thinking of what to write, there were little booklets they could use called Valentine Writers. Inside there were poems for the old and young and for every occupation, such as a soldier or a baker. Valentine's Day was particularly popular in England while Queen Victoria ruled. Paper Valentines made during this time are called Victorian Valentines. Many of them can even be seen in British museums. Although people also gave each other flowers and candies and jewelry at this time, Victorian Valentines became a favorite way of expressing feelings of love. In England, February 14th became the post office's busiest day of the year. Early American settlers did not celebrate Valentine's Day. The first pioneers were too busy struggling to survive. Valentine's Day didn't catch on in America until the mid-18th century. Many of the first American Valentines were proposals of marriage, and the popular True Love Knot and the Endless Love Knot were mazes drawn in the shape of connecting hearts that had messages of love written inside the pathways. In the pinprick style, sewing needles were used to create fancy borders by poking holes along the edges of the paper. Another popular Valentine during this time was called the acrostic, in which the first letter of each handwritten verse spelled out a sweetheart's name. Handmade cards were popular in America until the mid-19th century. Valentine's Day is still observed in many countries, but it is most popular in the United States and Great Britain. In England, children will receive candy and money, and men and women still send cards and flowers to their sweethearts. In the United States, people young and old give each other cards, flowers, candies, and jewelry. Bakeries are filled with heart-shaped cookies and cakes. There are still Valentine's Day dances and it is believed to be one of the most popular wedding days of the year. The two doves. Children also celebrate Valentine's Day in the classroom with parties and games. They make their own valentines with construction paper and glue. They decorate boxes with crepe paper, doilies, and cut out hearts so that friends can place the valentines inside. Perhaps decorating boxes for homemade valentines is a modern version of the old Roman custom of drawing names from an urn or a bowl. Many things have changed since Roman times, but for hundreds of years, February 14th has been a day to honor love and to cherish those who are close to us. It is also a day to think about how old customs and beliefs can mix together and blend into something new. This represents the old customs and the new customs. And here are some instructions on how to create Valentines, old-fashioned Valentines if you'd like. There's the old-fashioned pinprick Valentine, the old-fashioned acrostic Valentine, let's see what else, and the Valentine's cookies. So, the old-fashioned pinprick Valentine, you'll need one piece of construction paper, the standard 8.5 by 11, a sharp pencil or ballpoint pen, colored pencils or crayons. You want to fold the piece of construction paper in half. On one side of the folded paper, lightly draw a picture of a heart with a pen or a pencil. Be creative. Make a border around the heart. Add anything you like. Carefully make pinpricks along your drawing with the point of the pencil or pen. The pinpricks should be as close as possible, but without touching. Once you have finished pinpricking your entire drawing, fold the construction paper back over. Write a special Valentine's message on the inside of your card with colored pencils or hearts. So that's pretty easy. And then this is the cutout heart. And this says to get, these are 3 different Valentines that somebody has written. It says, Tim, together forever in good or bad weather, my funny Valentine. And this one says, Lisa. And remember, the acrostic is using the initials of the person that you love. So T-I-M, Lisa's is L-I-S-A. So let me say, in this nice way, St. Valentine's is fun, and you're my special one. This is to Will, W-I-L-L. Will you be my Valentine? I'll be yours, and you'll be mine. Let's be friends, and let's not part. Love is what comes from the heart. And then this is the recipe to make Valentine's cookies. And you can definitely do this if you have the time as a young child. But you'll need 1 cup or 2 sticks of butter softened, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of milk, 1/8 teaspoon lemon extract or almond extract, half of a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of salt. Red sugar sprinkles hot candies or colored frosting, whatever you want to decorate them with. Lightly grease a cookie sheet in a large bowl. Cream the butter and sugar until it's smooth. Add the egg, milk, which is optional extract, and then the vanilla extract. Beat well. Mix flour, baking powder, and salt together in a small bowl, and then add to batter, stirring well. Divide the dough into 3 parts and flatten each into a disc. Wrap each disc in plastic wrap and refrigerate for 30 minutes. Preheat oven to 350. Roll each disc out on a floured surface to 1/8 inch thickness. Cut the dough with heart-shaped cookie cutters and place hearts on cookie sheet. Bake approximately 8 to 12 minutes or until lightly browned around the edges. Cool on a wire rack. To decorate before baking, dust with red sugar sprinkles or red hot candies. After cookies cool, they can also be decorated with colored cake frosting. So, if you are interested in that, do it. But I think you should just be a kid and buy some cookies and have a good day celebrating Valentine's Day with your friends, and try not to worry about too much real life stuff. Be a kid and enjoy your time being innocent and having fun, because that's what matters right now. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, soft-spoken reading of the story of Valentine's Day, and I hope that you have a lot of fun today and you enjoy your time, and I will see you in the next video.